How many people actually have $2 million saved for retirement? The answer, far fewer than you'd think. According to the Federal Reserve, only about 1.8% of U.S. households have reached that mark. That's fewer than 2 out of every 100 homes in the entire country. But here's what's even more surprising. Getting there isn't as impossible as it sounds. When we talk about retirement savings, we're not counting your house, your car, or collectibles. We're talking about real invested money, 401ks, IRAs, and other accounts built specifically for retirement. These are the funds that create income later in life, not just paper wealth. A lot of people appear wealthy because they own a nice home with plenty of equity. But home equity doesn't pay your bills. You can't swipe your house at the grocery store. Sure, you could sell or borrow against it, but that comes with limits and risks. True retirement readiness is about liquid assets, money that grows and can generate income without relying on debt or selling your home. And remember that 1.8% figure represents households, not individuals. The average household has around 2.5 people, which means the number of individual Americans with 2 million in retirement accounts is even smaller. But while few have achieved it, the path to get there is surprisingly simple once you understand how compounding works. For someone starting from zero, investing roughly $14,000 a year, about $1,100 a month, over 36 years with an average 7% return would grow to over $2 million. That's assuming you never increase your contributions, even as your income rises. For context, that's about 16 to 17% of the median U.S. household income. If you start around age 30, you'd hit the 2 million mark by your mid-60s. Start earlier, say at 25, and you'd only need to invest about $10,000 a year to reach the same goal. Of course, that kind of consistent saving takes real commitment. Life happens. Bills, family, everything else competing for attention. But reaching your goals often comes down to trade-offs. Driving a reliable used car instead of a brand new one, or living just below your means instead of at the edge of your budget, can easily free up the $1,000 or so a month you'd need to invest. These small choices compound just like your investments do. Over time, they make an enormous difference. So if the math is simple, why do so few households actually get there? It mostly comes down to behavior. People delay saving because life gets busy, kids, mortgages, emergencies, and retirement feels far away. Then there's lifestyle creep. As income rises, spending rises too. Bigger homes, nicer cars, more frequent vacations. It feels good in the moment, but it quietly kills long-term growth. Another trap is thinking of your home as your main investment. Owning property is great, but it doesn't compound like a portfolio does, and you can't live off your house without selling it. Finally, many assume Social Security will fill the gap, but it was only ever meant to supplement your income, not replace it. The average monthly benefit is about $2,000. Helpful, but hardly enough to live comfortably on its own. Now let's put this in perspective. The median household has about $87,000 saved for retirement. That means half have less than that. And when you consider that the average overall savings rate in the U.S. is under 5%, it's no wonder so many people fall short. To stay on track for 2 million, you'd need to save roughly 3 times that rate, around 16 to 17% of your income, consistently. Most don't come close, and the result is predictable. People working far longer than planned, cutting their lifestyle dramatically, or relying almost entirely on Social Security just to get by. So what does 2 million actually buy you in retirement? Using the 4% rule, the general guideline for safe withdrawals, that amount gives you around $80,000 a year in income. Add Social Security for 2 people, and your total annual retirement income climbs to roughly $128,000. That's a comfortable lifestyle for most Americans. Enough for living expenses, health care, and some travel without worrying about running out of money. But here's where mindset matters most. Financial success isn't about luxury cars, giant homes, or flashy vacations. Most people flaunting that lifestyle are broke, drowning in debt and living paycheck to paycheck. Real wealth is quiet. It's the freedom to stop working when you want, to take care of your family, and to live on your own terms. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're secure, no matter what happens. You don't need to chase every new phone upgrade or splurge on constant getaways to enjoy life. The memories that actually matter usually come from the simple things: time with your family, meaningful experiences, moments that don't require spending a fortune. Meanwhile, those flashy purchases that seem exciting at first, they fade fast. The payments, though, stick around. On the other hand, real financial freedom compounds. Every time you save instead of spend, you're buying time, years of freedom later on. That's why focusing on the basics, saving early, investing consistently, and avoiding unnecessary lifestyle inflation is what separates those who struggle from those who build real wealth. And here's the most encouraging part. You don't have to reach 2 million for compounding to change your life. The real turning point happens much sooner, at 500,000 or $1 million invested. Once you have that first million, the next comes fast. At a typical stock market return, money doubles roughly every 7 years. That means $1 million today can turn into $2 million in about 7 years without adding a single extra dollar. The first million is the hardest, but once you get there, your money starts working harder than you do. Even if you only manage 500,000 by age 50, you're still on track. Let it compound, and by the time you're 65, that $500,000 could grow to 2 million all on its own. That's the magic of time and patience. The snowball effect of compounding. The earlier you start, the less you have to contribute, and the more freedom you gain later in life. So don't get caught up comparing yourself to others or chasing what looks impressive on the outside. Focus instead on what builds peace, stability, and long-term security. The math is simple. The challenge is consistency. But if you stick with it, your future self will thank you, not just for the number in your account, but for the freedom that number gives you. Because at the end of the day, $2 million isn't just about money. It's about time, choice, and the kind of life you'll be free to live once you finally get there. Thanks for watching InvestingFlix, where smart money learns smarter moves. Subscribe for more insights that grow your wealth.